Hey, good morning. Gonna make a video for a book review. Okay, we're gonna talk about. There's gonna be a period of videos that I'm going to introduce that are geared towards a program that I'm going through. I like a discipleship type program. Not necessarily to become ordained an ordained minister or something like that, but to further my relationship with God and work through a couple things and improve my life because it's something that is ultimately a goal of mine to um, become better, become a better father, become a better husband, become a better leader, things like that. And I'm going to be doing these book reports. Okay, these book reports that are from Warren Hunter. Okay, this is the program that in this particular book right now that I'm working through is um, presenting a yielded will. Okay, you can read the title there. Now, I'm going to breeze through these. I'm not, I'm going to give a high level view. If anything that is interesting, from the talk, because I'm going to try and keep these capped to 3-4 minutes so I can keep your attention. I'm not looking to do a really, really long video. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it, right? So, there's a lot that goes into a title, right? Presented a yielding will, a yielded will. Um, and as I get past I guess the jitterness of doing a quick video, on a topic that you've read and you read. Okay, here's a couple of the bullet points that I've pulled out of this thing. All right, so um, if you've had a relationship with God at all, you're in a situation where you understand that there's certain ways that He leads you. Okay, there's certain opportunities He's going to go ahead and present. And one of the ways it is put in this book is in the very beginning, one of the very beginning chapters, he talks about the master potter. God's the potter, right? And he wants to make sure that he has perfect clay to work with. And so if you've ever run a potter's wheel or if you've ever dealt with ceramics, you understand that you got to knead that clay. You got to work that clay and make sure there's not any air bubbles. And you got to make sure there's not really any impurities in there. It's got to be a good, can't be too wet, can't be too dry. Otherwise, you're just going to be in a bad situation when you put that clay in the kiln. It's going to crack. Those air bubbles, they're going to want to get out and they're going to crack that pot. So relate that to your life. God's going to lead you through and he's going to say, listen, here's something that you may want to think about. And there's a lot of different ways, you can actually hear the audible voice of God. You can hear, um, there's just leadings that are in your spirit that you're going to understand that you need to pursue. And then you can even get it from, mentors in your life and pastors in your life and books. Okay. So if you get anything out of this talk, let me know. I can get you a copy of this book. Maybe it's something that can make an impact on you. So we're talking about the master potter. Needs some good clay to work with. Here's some examples, right? You got some bitterness in your life. You got some addiction in your life. You got something that is very clear that is disruptive that you got to deal with. Okay, you touch on things like that in this book. Okay, now there's one particular spot that talks about bitterness. Okay, and the only example that I really have in my life is there's a scenario where there was a particular church, and I'm not calling anybody out, right? But this is my life, may not be yours. There's a particular church out there where there was, some molestation and things like that um, you know, went on in the church, and because of that, I believe that it has pushed people away from a relationship not only with the church, like it has labeled the church in some situations, like it has allowed a root of bitterness to creep in, and some people just don't even go to church because they don't trust church, don't trust church camps. Oh man, what if this pervert gets a hold of my kid or something like that? I mean, it's serious stuff. I'm not joking about it. Evil's all around you. What we're learning through books like this, we're looking to be able to recognize evil and then cast it out when the time comes appropriate, and praying and being specific with your purpose in life, okay? So there's one nugget. I got another nugget here. I'm going to go ahead and peel this out because there was something that there was revelation. I'm watching a video, live video today. Warren Hunter's doing this video, and he's talking about insecurity is insecurity is like the devil's breeding ground or something like that, and I can see that. I don't remember the quote exactly, but here's something that I wrote down days prior, so you can see that the Spirit's working in the same way. And here's something that I wrote down after. This is out of the root of bitterness topic. Okay, so these things run in the same circle. Okay, you understand that bitterness, okay, abandonment. So if somebody was abandoned, it's very likely that they're going to be angry. They're going to be filled with unforgiveness. They're going to be filled with pride, and all these characteristics, or these I'm at a loss of what they're actually called, but these feelings, okay, these feelings that can oppress people and keep a root inside you of being disconnected with God. That's what it comes down to, right? Okay, so that's what we're dealing with, and that's going to tie in with not being perfect clay, for God to deal with. Because if you hate your neighbor, if you hate your wife or something like that, and you're just dealing with whoever, you're running around with hate in your blood, you gotta get delivered of that, right? You gotta cleanse yourself of those demons. If I can add a little bit of a theatrical flair to it. And that's just it, right? So there's a lot of takeaways in this particular book, okay? And I'm not going to get in the whole thing, but there's a lot of scripture in here. It's scripturally based, right? So if you've read some of these books before where you just, it's a little redundant. This one's not, okay? There's a good path, okay? Okay, you start at the very beginning. You need a good foundation, and then as you're being led through, the Spirit's leading you through the whole process. Here's how God can use you. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right, again, the name of the book, Presenting a Yielded Will. This is actually the second book in the series that we're doing right now. I'll get to the first one here because we're kind of trading off books, me and Nicole, and I hope you got something out of it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. And again, I'm going to go ahead and put a special hashtag in here. So if there's something that, if you're not ready to hear, or if you're not just, you don't want to hear anything about Jesus or hear any history lessons or anything like that, by all means. But I'm going to put special tags in these so you'll know what type of video it is, because I know a lot of you follow, my other types of videos, and my ones that deliver laughs and stuff like that. So hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.